Buckle up for an unforgettable adventure in Cappadocia, Turkey. Glide over unreal fairy chimneys and vibrant valleys on a mesmerizing hot air balloon ride. Explore ancient cave cities and uncover the magic of this otherworldly landscape. And did I tell you about the magic carpets? Actually, they're just Turkish rugs. But join us for a journey that'll take your breath away. Good morning. So today we are leaving Antalya, Turkey and heading to Cappadocia. Cappadocia is one of the most iconic places in all of Turkey. But before we get there, we're going to make a quick stop in Sultanhani. Sultanhani is a majestic 13th century caravanserai nestled along Turkey's ancient Silk Road. This isn't just a stunning piece of architecture, it's a time capsule of trade, culture, and human connection that once linked the East to the West. Step inside and you're greeted by a sprawling courtyard, once alive with the chatter of traders and the clatter of camels and the aroma of exotic goods. At the heart of this space stands a unique square mosque, raised on 4 elegant arches, the oldest of its kind in Turkey. Built in 1229 AD, the Sultanhani Caravanserai stands as Turkey's largest and one of the best preserved stops along the Silk Road. This fortified hub was designed to shelter merchants, their caravans, and their precious goods as they journeyed across the continents. When the weather got cold, traders moved to the covered hall, which was a cavernous space with thick stone walls and soaring vaults. Today, this hall showcased stunning displays of Turkish carpets, a nod to the region's rich weaving tradition. But in the 13th century, this space echoed with the sounds of merchants planning their next journey. Tragically, a fire damaged the Sultanhana later that century, but it was restored and expanded in 1278, cementing its status as a masterpiece of design. Sultanhani was more than just a rest stop. It was a self-sufficient fortress. Thick stone walls and defensive towers protected against bandits, while stables, a bathhouse, kitchens, and sleeping chambers catered to every need. Funded by pious endowments, these caravanserais offered free food, lodging, and fodder, showcasing the area's dedication to fostering trade and cultural exchange. Merchants from as far as China, Persia, and Europe swapped not just goods but stories, languages, and traditions, making the Sultanhani a vibrant melting pot. In its heyday, the Sultanhani was a thriving economic hub. The arcades around the courtyard doubled as bustling markets where silk, spices, carpets, and jewels changed hands. The caravanserai enriched nearby towns as traders spent their wealth locally. One legend tells of a novice merchant so enchanted by Sultanhani's grandeur that he made it his trading base, later giving back to its upkeep as a gesture of gratitude. Stories like these highlight how Sultanhani wasn't just a stopover, it was a beacon of prosperity and connection. Sultanhani's importance faded after the Age of Discovery, as new sea routes bypassed the Silk Road, yet its legacy endures. The Battle of Sultanhani in 1256, where Mongols defeated the Seljuks, marked a turning point in the region's history. But the caravanserai itself stood strong. Today, it's a UNESCO World Heritage candidate, drawing 500,000 visitors annually to marvel at its grandeur and imagine the epic tales of the Silk Road. Sultanhani may seem like a sleepy town today, with a population of just under 11,000, but in the Middle Ages, this town was a bustling stop on one of the world's greatest trade routes. Sultanhana may be small, but its story is colossal. From its Silk Road glory days to its quiet charm today, this town invites you to walk in the footsteps of ancient traders and feel the pulse of history. So if you're road tripping from Antalya to Cappadocia, make Sultanhana a must-see stop. But now, before we make our way to Cappadocia, we've got to stop and get some lunch. And we stopped and got some Turkish pizza. This is flatbread pizza, and it was delicious. All right, we made it to Cappadocia, and now we are checking into our hotel. We are staying at the Hotel Mustafa Cappadocia, and it was a pretty amazing place. Here's a little tour of our room.
Look at this view I've got here. You just got it.
Ooh, what are you thinking? Nice place? Small, but very nice. There's the shower. And then the bathroom is right in here. And it has a little bidet. There's a little workstation, kitchen, or a little refrigerator and safe in there. Coffee, tea, nightstand, and a little balcony. We'll take a look out here real quick. It's got a chair, a little table, and a little view of Cappadocia. Little basketball court there. Little Turkish basketball court and a view. After getting settled into our room, we decided to explore this hotel a little bit more, and here is the pool area. It is an indoor pool. They had a little hot tub over there on the side, and then we made our way back up to the lobby. This hotel was very nice, had a lot of different areas where you could just sit and kind of relax and take it easy, and so we'll show you some of those spaces right now. There seemed to be just little sitting areas everywhere you looked in this lobby and in this hotel. Not only did they have an indoor pool though, they also had this outdoor pool as well. And here's just a view of the outside of the hotel from the back. We're standing on the pool deck right now, so this is looking at the back of the hotel. What a beautiful place. And here's just a closer look at their outdoor pool. It was a little cold when we were here in November, and so we didn't get in this outdoor pool, but it looked amazing. So we explored the hotel just a little bit more before we headed back to our room and stood out on our balcony and watched the sunset over Cappadocia. It's almost gone. Wow, just a little tiny sliver there. Now the sliver's gone. You see the glow. All right, I know it's still early in the evening, but I got to get to bed because tomorrow morning I got to get up super early for my hot air balloon ride. All right, it's about 5:30 in the morning and a group of us are in a big van heading to our hot air balloon ride. So on the way here, we were given a breakfast box in the van, and it was pretty good. We had just some juice, a little sandwich, and a muffin and things, and so that's kind of fueling me for right now. Right now, it is pretty cold, and so I've got my puff coat on. These Cappadocia mornings are pretty crisp, and so if you're going to do this balloon ride, make sure that you dress appropriately because you will be a little bit chilly. Hey, good morning from Cappadocia. Getting ready to do a hot air balloon ride. It is pretty cool. We woke up about 5 o'clock in the morning to leave at 5:30. We're going to try to get this balloon ride for sunrise. We've got multiple balloons here getting ready to go, and so this is going to be great. So we are doing our hot air balloon ride to Cappadocia Balloons, and they are a class act. Right now, the crews are hard at work fanning the massive balloons into shape as propane flames roar, casting a warm glow. And in just a minute, yeah, there they go. They got the hot air balloon upright, and you can see the basket down there. It's kind of dark, but you can still see the basket down there. They're raising another balloon right now, and it was just pretty cool watching this propane heat the air and lifting these balloons off the ground. This was definitely an event I will never forget. And watch this as this balloon continues to rise. They're going to lift up this basket. Right now it's on its side, and so they're going to tip it up here in just a second. Here it goes. The balloon is getting a little higher. And here they go, tipping the basket over. And we're going to be getting in this basket here in just a few minutes. So about half of our group has already got into this basket for this hot air balloon, and we'll be getting into our basket here very shortly. So the anticipation is definitely building. And here we go. So right now I am standing in a whisker basket with about 15 other people, and we've been untethered by the ground crew, and so we're starting to float upwards, and this is pretty cool. We are flying. All right behind me here is our trusty pilot, and he's navigating this balloon. He raises it by letting more propane heat up the air, and let me tell you, he's doing a great job so far.
Look at all those horses down there. Wow, look at that cave stuff.
The hot air balloon ride over Cappadocia is pure magic, and as you glide silently, the world below unfolds like a surreal painting. Fairy tale chimneys, carved by nature over millennia, stand like whimsical towers, and ancient cave churches and hidden monasteries are tucked into honeycombed cliffs. The valleys, the Rose Valley, the Love Valley, and the Pigeon Valley stretch out in every direction, their pastel hues catching the golden light of sunrise. The only sounds are the occasional swoosh of the burner and your own gasp of awe.
Wow.
Woo! Nice job, nice job.
Are you flies first time?
Yeah.
Me too.
You're not alone up here. Hundreds of balloons, like colorful jewels, drift alongside you, creating a breathtaking aerial ballet. Your pilot expertly navigates, dipping low to skim over vineyards and climbing high for panoramic views. Every moment feels like a postcard, especially when the sun crests the horizon.
They need a camera in there taking pictures of us.
I see, okay.
The ride, lasting about an hour, feels both timeless and too short. You're weightless, carried by the wind, yet perfectly safe in the hands of a skilled pilot. Some companies offer luxe options, like smaller baskets for a private vibe or in-flight photos, but the real luxury is the view. And as you drift, you might spot wild horses like we did earlier, or farmers starting their day, a reminder of Cappadocia's living, breathing culture. Cappadocia's hot air balloon rides are a bucket list must. They run year-round, weather permitting. So book early, especially for peak seasons like spring or fall, and expect to pay around $150 to $250 American dollars for a standard flight. And if you're planning a trip to Turkey, don't miss out on this.
That one's going down fast.
This is definitely a sunrise that I will never forget. I thought I'd show you just a little bit of the inside of our wicker basket. And the basket is pretty big, and it's broken up into, I think, about 6 different compartments. And there were 3 of us standing in this one compartment. All right, all too soon, it's time for us to start to land. And down there in the distance, that is our truck with our trailer, Our pilot has been in constant contact with him while we've been flying, and so he knows exactly where we're going to go. And right now he's heading to the field that we're going to land on. And so this is going to be pretty exciting. I can't wait to see how this process unfolds. Believe it or not, and I couldn't really believe it, but our pilot is actually landing right on top of the trailer. I thought we would land in the field and they would have to move the basket up to the trailer, but we landed right on the trailer.
Well, what'd you guys think?
Oh, perfect.
Now it's time for the crew to deflate this big balloon and pack it all up and get ready for the next flight this evening.
Probably.
All right, the crew is getting everything ready, and we are going to celebrate with a classic balloon tradition, and that is a champagne toast or an apple juice toast, whichever you prefer. Well, that was definitely an unforgettable morning in Cappadocia, but now we are on our way back to the hotel. We're going to grab a bite to eat, change our clothes, get refreshed again, but then we are heading out for the remainder of our day. And our first stop is going to be the Göreme Open Air Museum. And I'm not sure if I pronounced that right, so I'll leave it how it's spelled right below. This is a UNESCO World Heritage Site that's the crown jewel of Cappadocia. So just a 15-minute walk from Göreme town, this sprawling monastic complex feels like stepping into a living history book. Carved into the soft volcanic tuff rock between the 10th and 12th centuries, this site is home to over 30 rock-cut churches, chapels, and monasteries. Our guide is describing the frescoes we will see.
But when we look at these, what we see, the first one is Jesus Christ sitting on the throne with Virgin Mary and John the Baptist, like we saw in Hagia Sophia. Do you remember? There was one scene there. They were asking forgiveness from Jesus at the Judgment Day, the great poet Jesus. In the next one, we have Virgin Mary. Speaking, we have Virgin Mary, Gabriel, Archangel Gabriel talking to Virgin Mary, saying that she's pregnant, Annunciation.
They decided not to go to the dark church first.
This is the kitchen and that's the storage, the cellar. She can go down.
The star of the museum is the dark church, and trust me, it's worth the extra €6 entrance fee. Why is it called the dark church? Because its tiny window lets in barely any light, which has preserved its stunning frescoes in vivid colors. You'll see scenes from the life of Christ. Think the crucifixion, the nativity, the Last Supper, painted with vegetable dyes in the 11th century. The detail is breathtaking, but heads up, I didn't really get any video of this because no photography is allowed inside to protect these delicate works of art. Right now we are in a different church that did allow photography, so here are some frescoes that are painted in this church. The other famous churches in this area are the Apple Church, named either for an apple tree that once grew nearby or a red orb held by Archangel Michael in a fresco. And also the Snake Church, where St. George battles what locals mistook for a snake. Spoiler, it's actually a dragon. Or the Church of St. Barbara, dedicated to the Egyptian martyr. Beyond the churches, the museum includes a massive rock-carved nunnery that once housed up to 300 nuns across 6 floors of tunnels and chambers. Sadly, erosion means only the first couple of floors are accessible, but it's still a marvel of ancient engineering. You'll also see dining rooms, kitchens, and living quarters, giving you a sense of how this self-sustaining monastic community thrived. As you leave the open air museum, you're greeted by a charming little market buzzing with local flavor. This vibrant cluster of shops is a treasure trove of Cappadocian culture.
Oh, that balloon ride this morning was incredible, and we just toured some monasteries in the built monastery caves, I guess. They dug them out of the rock formations here in Cappadocia, and that was pretty cool. Now we're at the gift shop area before we get back on our tour bus. So the gift shop area is right there behind me. So great day so far. I definitely highly recommend Turkey, and especially Cappadocia.
These little markets are perfect for picking up some souvenirs or just soaking in the lively atmosphere. And Erica has never found a market she wasn't interested in checking out. And they even sold some pretty cool hot air balloon souvenirs. But it's about time for us to leave this open air museum, and we're going to be heading to a Turkish rug shop. And this isn't just a shop, it's a living legacy of Cappadocian craftsmanship.
So there are two main accepted techniques there in German. One is called the Turkish double knot, and the other is called the Persian single knot. Can everybody see that? The double knot goes in like this.
Yeah.
Okay, like this. And this is the single. But in either case, what you do when you walk on a rug, unknowingly, you're not aware that this is happening, but rugs are not only woven for decorative purposes, they're also woven for insulation. Because if you're living in a rural part of the country, you don't have the luxuries of maybe central heating or air conditioning. So you want something thick on your floor and on your walls as well.
As you can see here, our time began with learning all we could about Turkish rugs. And then we saw a mesmerizing presentation about the process of creating a Turkish rug. And each rug is hand-woven using techniques passed down for generations, some dating back over 8,000 years. A single rug can take months to complete, with skilled artisans tying thousands of knots using wool, silk, or cotton.
K-I-L-I-M. Kilims are the most basic form of weaving. Okay? And do you remember how many sections a rug was made up of?
Three.
Kilims are only made up of 2. So what they don't have are the knots. So this is just the warp and the weft. In other words, the skeleton of the rug. It's like a basket weave. That's why these are reversible. You can use them on both sides. Okay? And some of our kilims have a Native American, Navajo, Indian, Aztec kind of look and feel. Okay? For example, this kilim is made of wool. Okay? The warp and the weft is in wool. However, the kilim on this rug, the material that's used is silk. And then on top of that silk kilim, you then with needlework, you embroider the design in. So these are the ends of the embroidery which are hanging off the back. So this is the reverse side of the kilim. These are not reversible like these ones are. And it looks like this. These are incredibly beautiful. Can I just ask you to come down and touch these pieces now? This is a beautiful curtain rug. Can I just ask you to look at this rug from different directions? Man, look at it from here and then go around and look at it from the other side. There's a mountain near the Turkish-Armenian border, according to the Bible, 2,000 feet above sea level. So this village is on the skirts of that mountain, and it is now with lamb's wool. And it is the highest knotted tribal rug there is right now. Just look how fine and how clean this workmanship is. And they have incredibly beautiful reds and blues. As a matter of fact, this is the perfect rug if you're a lover of red wine.
Oh yeah, you could spill it.
Alright, for the value of this rug, you can buy 3 of these. This does not mean that this rug is going to last 3 times longer than this. The durability of these 2 pieces are going to be exactly the same. You do not need to be an expert to be able to see the difference when I unroll it. Even from where you're sitting, you can see the difference. The durability will be the same. Obviously, because of the knot factor, you'll see the different details within the rugs themselves.
Oh wow.
Now come closer and take a look at these pieces, ladies and gentlemen. Angora wool, a very high quality as far as knots are concerned, but the design that you see, the motif, is very subtle. It's been designed this way. You may not see it at first. You may need to look at it from different directions, but it looks something like this.
All right, well, we're in the Turkish rug place. Just saw a great demonstration, and Erica couldn't resist. She bought a rug. So we're gonna have it shipped back to Indiana. Apparently it's going in her foyer. It might be her Christmas gift for the next 3 years. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, we couldn't resist. We just bought a Turkish rug.
We had a great visit at this Turkish rug store, but now it's time to leave. We've done a lot today already, but we got to go get some lunch.
Look at all the ATVs.
So we're heading to a restaurant that serves one of the most iconic dishes in this area called the Testi Kebab, or also known as the pottery kebab. And it is a mouth-watering meal slow cooked in clay pots. You might not believe it, but I just found a camel.
This is the entrance to the underground city food storage place.
So this is the Özkonak Underground City. It's lesser known than the Open Air Museum, but equally as fascinating of a site. This is one of Cappadocia's many underground cities, carved out by early Christians around the 5th or 6th centuries to hide from invaders. Descending into the Özkonak is like entering a hidden world. With 8 levels, though only 4 are open to visitors today, this city could house up to 60,000 people during its peak. You'll see stables, a winery, living quarters, and even a church, all carved into this volcanic rock. The narrow tunnels and millstone doors were designed for defense, letting residents seal off sections from attackers. It's a testament to the resilience and ingenuity of the people who sought refuge here.
Instead of carrying these goods from the tunnels. And now, next room we'll see the tunnel.
There's people down there. I just said, there's people down there. A little bitty kid would love this.
Yeah.
This might not be right.
And here is one of the rolling stones that they used to seal off the passageways. And here is another one. I must admit, I got a little claustrophobic in this underground city. So on the way out, when I saw the light coming through this doorway, I was pretty excited. Well, that's a wrap for part 1 of our incredible journey through Cappadocia, Turkey. You won't want to miss what we see next. So please, hit that subscribe button to join our travel tribe. And don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and drop a comment below. Tell us your favorite Cappadocia moment or where you're dreaming of traveling next. Also, let me know what your thoughts are on Turkish rugs.